Hey, Tim Sykes here. Lots to go over. I have been busy traveling, but now I am finally back home. Next week, I'm actually going to be teaching several students in person. I'm very excited for that. But first, let's talk about a few things. Despite my traveling, I still had a pretty good week trading. I had a really nice short yesterday on HTBX from 3-ish. Actually, HTBX is now down to 1. I want to talk about that. I don't feel bad for covering too early at all. I had a decent little earnings win today on CBK. Didn't really do much, but the market is down, so not too bad. HTBX I actually shorted twice. And GLBS I had a little short too in the 7s. And GLBS has been all over the place. I mean, it went from basically the 3s to the 7s, back down to the 3s, back to the 7s. So we'll talk about that in a second. First, I have to talk about the number one question that a lot of you guys are asking me, and it's about this holiday sale. It was supposed to end December 1st today, but because I've been traveling and because I'm so far behind answering all your emails, we're going to extend this until December 4th. What is it? Let's see. November, December, December 4th. Well, December 5th. Okay, we'll make it nice and easy. So I have the whole weekend to catch up on all the emails. I know you guys have questions on the sale. I'm trying to answer them, but just bear with me. I'm behind. All of these newsletters, 30, 40, 50% off, and all of these DVDs are 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% off. You should be watching this. You should be memorizing my How to Make Millions DVD. It's amazing that these patterns are the exact same. And this weekend, I'm actually going to have a full review on Quant Trading 101, which I think is an amazing DVD that you have to watch if you want to get into programming trades and statistics. For those of you who like math, this DVD is a must-watch, and it's only $2.97. All right, let's talk about stocks for a second, though. First, I got to give a congratulations to my student, Eric. He has been a dedicated student watching all of my video lessons, and now on Profitly, he's sharing some of his own video lessons. Very grateful for his, kind of just transparency and sharing with the community. In the past year, he's only been my student for a year, and he is closing in on $100,000. And a lot of people ask me, well, that's not amazing. I mean, maybe he started with $100,000. You can see people asked him, what did he start with? He started with $5,000. So 5,000 into 100,000. I know it sounds amazing. I know it sounds unbelievable, but you take it one trade at a time, you'll see where it adds up. My Interactive Brokers account, for example, I started the year with roughly 12,000, and now I'm at roughly 100,000. Next year, I'm going to be trading with just 5,000. So you can see how you can grow small accounts. Also, one of my other students, Alex, he was inspired by Eric's post, and he's up 140,000 now. And you can see he didn't make much in the beginning. There's a learning curve. And then you can see what his profits have done in the past few months, and it's awesome. So congratulations to Alex. Let's start taking it trade by trade, though, because that's the secret to success. Oh, also, my student Van Ryan, I got to give him a props. November was a great month for him. His account increased 150%. And you can see, he had a good month in June, July, but then he was kind of sideways earlier this year and then sideways for a little bit. You're not going to have these perfect curves where you're going to necessarily make money every day. You have to wait for the right plays, but then it can add up. And people like my student Lee, who actually just profited on LEI, 272. LEI has been jumping recently. You have a lot of these low float stocks that have been spiking. LEI was one of them. DRYS, well, 10 days doesn't show much. But in the past 5 days, I mean, off the lows from 4 to 6, this is a nice 50% bounce and a nice short today. So you have volatility there. GLBS, as I said. I want to talk about this. I'm actually going to make a whole video lesson specifically about GLBS this weekend because there's so much to learn from this. It's all over the place. I know those of you who are just starting, you're like, I don't know where to begin. This is overwhelming. Don't worry. I'm going to devote an entire video lesson, probably like 15 or 20 minutes this weekend on GLBS. But right now, I want to talk about HTBX because this is a play that fit all of my patterns when it spiked 3 days in a row. I didn't think actually that it would go green on the third day here. As you know, if you watch my DVDs and you hear me talk and you read my watch list, it's very difficult for a stock to spike for 3 days in a row. You can see here it had 2 green days and then a red day, 2 green days and then a red day, 2 green days and then a red day. So this is the first time that I had 3 green days in the past 3 months. But that is because there were so many short sellers in it. And in the video lesson I made while I was traveling, no less, I think it was like right around here, it was around 3-ish. And I said, it was green on the day, and I wouldn't be surprised if it squeezed more because it was such a crowded short, and that led to this late day short squeeze up to 330, 340, 350. And a lot of early shorts got crushed. Me, thank God, because I was traveling and also because I'm experienced and I know I don't want to just short randomly, I shorted right in here in the low threes when it was closing red. This is the first red day. You always want to short an overextended stock up on no news. I'm not saying just short any stock, and I'm not saying short earnings winners, but you want to short an overextended stock that has a history of failing on day 3 or day 4, and you want to short on that first red day into the close. Normally, I would have shorted right into the close at 3:45, 3:50 p.m. Eastern because I'm not trying to, get squeezed at the end of the day. I think I shorted it right around 3 p.m. or 3:10 p.m. or 3:15 p.m. I don't even remember. I was crazy traveling from the airport because I was flying back home and I had a long trip. And I also knew that I would be there at the market open. So when you're shorting the first red day of a stock like this, for me at least, and this is where I'm going to give you a few different options. For me, I want to short the first red day and cover into the morning panic. If you actually look at what I said I shorted a few times. I shorted the first time and it faded a bit, but we didn't get the morning panic, and I was traveling my first short. So when I'm traveling, I'm not going to be aggressive. I'm not just going to be like, oh, I'm traveling, let me just take a big position and hold it while I'm flying and have no access to control the risk. That's not me. That's not what I do. On this trade, I absolutely nailed it. It was really fantastic because I said probable first down day. It's been choppy, but the trend is solidly down. Normally I wait to short closer to the market close, but I'm trading and traveling, so I'll take my shot while I can. Goal is to cover into a morning panic tomorrow, ideally for 30 to 50 cents a share profit. This is real-time alert delivered at 3:30 p.m. November 29th. And sure enough, the stock closed, right around 3. I think I was up 3 cents a share. I think it closed at 2.98. And pre-market, it was up a little bit, but nothing much. And actually, by the time the market opened, it was down to 2.95. And we got a big morning panic. Exact. Now, mind you, this little morning panic looks like nothing compared to the after hours panic. But pretend you don't know what's going to happen after hours. From 3 down to 2.5 in basically 3 minutes. This is a damn good morning panic. And I'm glad that a lot of you profited. Where was it? Too many people. Hunter, there we go. Shorted at 310, covered at 270. Very nice. And he overslept. And he made 446 bucks. Don't oversleep. Set your alarm. Dreamville shorted at 298, covered at 275. Made a quick 220. That's good. Larissa, look at this. Made a quick 200. We need more female traders. Good job. Now, some of you guys don't necessarily like trading so short term. That's okay. Okay, there's not one right way to play this. Early on in my career, I was like, you have to trade this way. This is the only way to trade. Over the years now, I've been teaching for nearly a decade. I recognize that there are various strategies. We all have different schedules. We have different personalities. We can trade differently. And some of you guys weren't just shorting because it was the first red day. You're shorting because it's overextended and it's up leading up to data that they're reporting soon. And the data is kind of already out with public filings. So it really wasn't that much of a risk shorting this hot biotech because guess what? It's really not going to, do much. The data is already out. So you have kind of this inefficiency. And some of you guys were shorting for fundamental reasons. I have no problem with that. It wasn't me. I'm not going to hold and wait for the data to come out because, again, even if the data does come out, they might issue just some new perspective on it. They might try and hype it up. I don't know. When I'm traveling, I'm going to take my gains very, very cautiously and quickly. And that is what I want to do. So, anyways, After hours, they reported the data and it tanked. And right now, today, it is down 62%. And some of you guys had more patience. Brian, my bad, shorted at 273, covered at 171, made 2,000 bucks. Could have made an extra 1,000, but guess what? You're doing all right. Here's Hunter, and now he's made 2,600 instead of just 500 because he shorted more. So good job, Hunter. Maybe it was good that you got your extra sleep. You got another position in there. And then Lucas, he probably had the best trade, not as big of a position size, but he shorted at 302, covered at 129, made 2,600. And he also highlighted one of the videos that I was talking about where I thought that the data was a little too pessimistic for anybody to go long, and the chart was a little too pessimistic to go long. So some of you guys held and you covered into the ones. That's fantastic. Next year, I'm trading with a $5,000 account and a $1 million account, and you will see me employ two very different strategies. When you have a small account, it's not necessarily going for home runs that matters. It's going for singles. That builds your account, builds your account, builds your account. So when your account is hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, you can take a little more time and a little more aggression. But if you have a small account of 3,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, it's very difficult to try to go for the home runs, because if you're wrong and you swing for a big home run and you strike out, you lose a lot of your momentum, you lose a lot of your account, you lose your confidence. So when you have a small account, as I had in the past and this year, namely, I've mainly been just growing my small account, little trade, 500 there, 1,000, sometimes 2,000 here or there. You see that going for singles works. But next year, when I have a big account, and a lot of you guys who like to go for home runs, that's cool too. There's not one right way to play this, and I want you to understand that. I also got to give props to a few other students. Amon, he's been trading FNMA. He got the ticker wrong on this tweet, but it's all right because he had a good profit. Michael Good alerted in the chat room, and he was buying at 449, selling at 485. Guess what? Making 1,500 bucks, and he started his trade this morning at like 9:47 a.m. He was done by 10:08 a.m. So we're talking about a 20-minute trade, and he's making 1,500 bucks. This was a day after. Guess what? He was shorting HTBX, shorting it at 3:39 p.m. at 3:02, covering at 268, getting a better execution than me, and this is another 1,500 bucks. And this is an overnight trade. So I know many of you guys are under the pattern day trader rule. You can't make that many day trades. This is why I love shorting the first red day so much, because it's an overnight play. You don't have to waste a day trade, and you can make a nice 10% overnight. Obviously, this was best case scenario, but still, it works. And Amon also had another nice tweet. He said, honestly, Tim, if it wasn't for you, the chat and all the lessons, I would still be lost. You're the best, man. God bless. Amon, thank you. I appreciate it. And, I love it. And I love that you're watching my 4,000 video lessons. Not many students are. So as much as you think I'm helping you, you're helping me too by being dedicated. It's not just enough for me to make the video lessons and for someone to subscribe and say, oh, look, I'm subscribed. Am I Tim's next millionaire student? That's like going to the gym and saying, oh, I'm just going to, sign up for this monthly gym membership. I'm not really going to go, but I have the gym membership. Am I going to lose a lot of weight now? You have to put in the effort. So I appreciate this so much, Amon. This kind of tweet makes my day, but also you and your effort and your studying. I wish there were more students like you. It's not easy for me to try and teach over and over and over again the same lessons, and I know a lot of you guys aren't paying attention. Some of you is just going in one ear, out the other. Some of you don't even look at these video lessons. There's so much to learn, and there's so many intricacies and so many different patterns and plays. The good news is, with my now 4,000 video lessons, I've cataloged everything, okay? So some of you guys who have been watching a lot of stuff, there shouldn't be that much new stuff for you guys. There's some variations and there's some nuances and some subtleties, but the vast majority of these plays, short the first down day on an overextended stock. This isn't fucking rocket science here. So follow the lessons, keep studying. I'll make another video lesson this weekend, but also take advantage of this sale, please. We're not going to extend it again. You have until Monday when I catch up on all the emails. I'll see you guys in the chat room. And challenge students, we have a live webinar tomorrow morning, so you better tune in. Thank you.